The marina in Monaco shined brightly under the warm sun. Fancy boats gently moved in the water. I stood on a private dock, watching my family take pictures in front of a boat they thought they had rented for their special family trip. If they had looked at the boat's name, Alexandra's Dream, they would have realized something sooner. "Sarah, what are you doing here?" my mother said loudly, her voice cutting through the breeze. "This dock is private." I smiled and fixed my scarf. "I know. Security," she called out, waving to the dock staff. "We have an intruder." The security guard approached, his uniform crisp in the morning sun. "Is there a problem, Ms. Robertson?" "Yes," Mom said triumphantly. "My daughter is trespassing. This is a private dock for the yacht's owner." "I know," he replied calmly. "That's why I let her in." Mom's perfectly maintained facade cracked slightly. "What? Ms. Alexandra is the owner," he explained, using my preferred name, the one I'd built my shipping empire under, while my family still called me Sarah. "We've been expecting her." The silence that followed was broken only by the gentle lapping of waves against the hull. My brother Michael stopped mid-pose, his designer sunglasses slipping down his nose. My sister Rachel's champagne glass froze halfway to her lips. "This is ridiculous," Mom finally managed. "We rented this yacht through Elite Maritime Services. By company, I supplied helpfully, along with about 30 other luxury vessels in this marina. Though this one," I patted the gleaming hull, "is my personal favorite." "Your company?" Rachel's voice cracked. I pulled out my keys, specifically the electronic fob that controlled the yacht's security systems. With a soft beep, the gangway lights illuminated and the yacht systems hummed to life. "Impossible," Michael sputtered. You're nothing. Dad always said, dash. Dad said a lot of things. I cut him off, usually without bothering to check if they were true. Speaking of Dad, he stood at the back of the group, his expression unreadable. He'd been the one to declare 10 years ago that I was throwing my life away by starting a small boat rental business instead of joining the family real estate firm. Now his successful family-only cruise was about to get very interesting. "But the booking," Mom protested weakly. "Elite Maritime confirmed your rental of Alexandra's Dream for a 7-day Mediterranean cruise." I finished. Though, if you've done your research, you might have wondered why the company's CEO is named Alexandra Robertson. My phone buzzed, a message from my port manager. "Everything ready for the reveal?" "Perfect timing," I texted back. "Let's show them what success really looks like." "Ladies and gentlemen," I called out, my voice carrying across the dock, "welcome aboard Alexandra's Dream, or should I say my dream." The yacht's crew emerged on cue, immaculate in their uniforms. "Welcome aboard, Miss Alexandra," they chorused, completely ignoring my stunned family. "The master suite is prepared as requested," my chief steward announced, "and the additional accommodations have been arranged." Mom's face darkened at the emphasis on the master suite, the one she'd specifically requested in her booking. "Now, wait just a minute, Dash." "No, Mother," I interrupted. "You waited for 10 years. You've excluded me from family events because I wasn't successful enough. Called my business a hobby. Told everyone I was finding myself while my siblings were building real careers." I gestured to the marina around us. "Take a look. Every yacht with the Elite Maritime logo? The shipping company that transports your precious real estate materials. Also mine. The luxury charter service you used to book this cruise. Would you like to guess?" Rachel had pulled out her phone, frantically Googling Elite Maritime Services' estimated worth. "Oh my God. $4 billion at last valuation," I supplied, though with the new Asian expansion, it's probably closer to 6. "Not bad for a hobby, wouldn't you say?" Michael stepped forward, his business persona taking over. "Sarah, if we'd known." "Dash, you'd have what?" I asked. "Invited me to the cruise. Bragged about your successful sister. Tried to take credit for my achievements." "That's not fair," Mom protested. "We were trying to motivate you. By excluding me. By making me feel worthless." I laughed, but there was no humor in it. "Well, congratulations. You motivated me to build something so successful that you literally paid me to rent my own yacht." The crew was trying to hide their smiles. They'd heard all about this family during our planning sessions, the cruise deposit. Dad spoke for the first time, his voice hollow. "How much did we?" 200,000 euros, I said. "Non-refundable, of course. Though I suppose I should thank you. It'll cover the cruise bonuses for putting up with this charade." My phone buzzed again, this time with a news alert. "Elite Maritime Services announces major expansion. Stock soars." Oh, by the way, I added, showing them the headline, you might want to check your investment portfolios. Several top financial advisors are recommending elite maritime stock today. Shame you didn't buy in when it was just my little hobby. Mom sank onto a dock bench, her carefully planned cruise unraveling before her eyes. But where will we stay? Oh, the cruise is still on, I assured her, just with some slight modifications to the arrangements. I nodded to the chief steward, who began distributing new room assignments. Michael, you and Jessica will be in the port guest cabin, the small one near the engine room. Rachel, you and Thomas have the starboard crew quarters. Mom, Dad, you'll find the forward cabin, cozy crew quarters. Rachel shrieked. But we booked. Dash, you booked through my company on my yacht, I reminded her. And as owner, I've made some changes. The master suite, naturally, is mine. This is outrageous, Mom declared, standing up. We'll find another yacht, Dash, in Monaco during peak season. I smiled. Good luck. Elite Maritime controls most of the luxury charters in this marina. And even if you find an independent operator, your deposit is still non-refundable. My phone chimed with another message, my marina manager. Paparazzi arriving in 10 minutes for the Elite Maritime press conference. Want them to catch the family drama. Perfect timing, I texted back. Make sure they get my good side. Looking up at my family, I continued. You have two choices. Stay and enjoy a lovely Mediterranean cruise, albeit in slightly humbler accommodations than you planned, or leave, lose your deposit, and explain to all your society friends why you're not posting photos from your luxury yacht vacation. The silence was broken only by the gentle clinking of rigging against masts. You're enjoying this, Michael accused. Enjoying watching your perfectly crafted facades crumble. Watching you realize that your unsuccessful sister owns the company you're all desperate to impress. I smiled. Yes, I rather am. Dad stepped forward, something like respect finally showing in his eyes. You built all this without any help. Without your help, I corrected. Turns out I didn't need the family real estate empire to be successful. I just needed you all to underestimate me long enough to build my own empire. The sound of cameras clicking drew everyone's attention. The marina was filling with photographers, all aimed at Elite Maritime's flagship yacht and its dramatic family scene. Smile, I advised my family. These photos will be in all the business magazines tomorrow. Elite Maritime Company. Alexandra Robertson welcomes family aboard personal yacht. Such a heartwarming story of family reunion, don't you think? Mom's face went from red to white. She understood the game now. They could either play along and save face or become a very public embarrassment. What do you want? She asked quietly. Want? I laughed. I have everything I want. A successful company, a beautiful yacht, and the priceless opportunity to watch you all realize exactly who you've been looking down on all these years. My phone started buzzing with messages. Other family members suddenly realizing who I really was, business contacts connecting the dots, social climbers trying to realign themselves with the real power player. The press will want photos of the happy family, I continued. I suggest you all change into something more appropriate for a day at sea. Your new cabins have suitable attire laid out. Elite Maritime branded, of course. Can't miss a marketing opportunity. Rachel looked at her designer sundress in horror. Elite Maritime branded clothing? Standard crew wear, I confirmed sweetly. Since you'll be staying in crew quarters, it seemed appropriate. The chief steward stepped forward. Shall I show them to their cabins, Miss Alexandra? Please do. And remind them about the crew dress code. We wouldn't want them to feel out of place. As my family was led aboard, each looking more shell-shocked than the last, I turned to face the cameras. Alexandra Robertson, CEO of Elite Maritime Services, welcoming her family aboard her personal yacht. It would make a perfect story. My phone buzzed one final time. My PR director. Stock up 15% on expansion news. Want me to mention the family angle? I smiled, typing back. Absolutely. Focus on the self-made success angle. And make sure to note that I started as a small boat rental hobby. Success, they say, is the best revenge. But success combined with impeccable timing and a flair for dramatic reveals? That's priceless. As for my family, well, they wanted a luxury cruise experience. They just never specified which side of the service dynamic they'd be on. Welcome aboard Alexandra's dream, family. Your crew uniforms are in your cabins. After all, every good success story needs a humble beginning. And nothing says humble quite like crew quarters on a yacht you thought you were important enough to rent. The Mediterranean sun glinted off the yacht's pristine hull as photographers jostled for position. Another perfect day in Monaco, at least for one of us. Shall we set sail? I asked the captain, loud enough for both my family and the press to hear. I believe my guests are eager to begin their experience. The anchor began to rise, and with it, my family's last illusions about who really held the power in this relationship. Sometimes success isn't just about money. Sometimes it's about sending a message. And what better message than showing my family, on their fancy family-only cruise, that success isn't always what they think it is. Welcome to my world, family. The crew meeting starts early in the morning. Don't be late. The owner doesn't like people who show up late.